Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Olympi'HEN show. Look at them all. How fabulous are they? Not all 80 are here. They didn't all fit in my car. But a good amount that I could get in. And obviously the others are keeping the window going still. Good to see you. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Stuart and I run the Woolpatch shop in Long Melford, Suffolk, UK. And we bring you this show in the YouTube chat too. As always, you see producer Fizz. She keeps the chat organised, keeps the links dropping in. So if ever you see anything, Fizz will already be on it and dropping that link in too. So you shouldn't want for anything at all. It's lovely to have you with us. I'm feeling a bit better. I had COVID and I was hit the 6 the whole of last week. I thought, all right, my days off are Monday and Tuesday. I thought, yes, give it a couple of days, just sleeping, I'll be fine. How wrong was I? I had the whole week, but good old Curly Sue jumped in and took over the shop, which was wonderful. So the shop was still able to keep going and everyone could see all 80 chickens. 80 of them, 80. Fizz, can you remember back in April when we opened the form, we had 205 nations, didn't we? Can you remember how many people signed up? 105 people signed up. And we've actually got 80 chickens through, 80. That's phenomenal. That's a great statistic alone, isn't it? And I know sometimes life gets in the way, doesn't it? And you can't finish it for whatever reason. But 80 of you, and all with names, bar just one, which really gutted about. Because that person sent me a lovely letter explaining their 2 chickens, but I had no name at the bottom. But everyone else, I've got some lovely letters and cards through. So we're going to try and just talk through some of those as the show goes. But every single one of the Olympi'hens has been filmed for records. Absolutely. I had fun with the turntable so we could properly see everyone's chicken and the detail. And throughout this show, all 80 chickens are going to be shown. Done them in batches of 12. So hopefully you'll get to see your chicken at some point. And then I'm working out how to upload all 80 of them later on. But dotted throughout the show, we'll have like a 2-minute feature of 12 chickens. You'll be sick of the music by the end of the show, I'm sure. So that's the plan. The running order is as normal. I know we're on a Wednesday, aren't we? What we got, it's this kind of the same format, but just a little bit longer. So we've still got Guest of the Year coming up at 8:15, obviously with an Olympic theme. Then we've got a fabulous interview with Michael from Upland Fiber Co. Some of you might know of him on Instagram, Michael Knits. He's just started his own yarn company. I know. Unbelievable. So we had a great little catch up, a pre-record earlier this week where we got onto Zoom and we had a little chat. It's about 20 minutes there. So that will be nice to hear all about it. Then we've got the gallery, but we've got the gallery at 9 o'clock. And there's something cute before the 9 o'clock gallery. I'm going to try and hit the timer on the nose because we've got our very own pips. Yeah, you know, the Greenwich Mean Time pips that the BBC will often play on the hour. Well, we've got our our OlymPIPS at 9 o'clock. So we've got to hit the schedule proper. Fizz, we've got to keep cracking cracking that time. So we hit 9 o'clock for a spectacular gallery. And then all the chickens, as I say, all throughout. We've got shop news, we've got the charts. If you haven't seen the charts on Sunday, we're going to have a quick look at those around 9:15 too. Throughout the show, we got your chat, so we'll have a quick look at everyone here. I know you. Hey James is in the house. Many of you we saw as over those 5 minutes preparation. Oh yes, it was. That was my first dance with COVID, and hopefully it will be my last for a very long while. So there we are. There's Sue. Had so much fun in the shop last week. I bet. Thank you so much, Sue, for doing that. It was great. Margaret. Hello, Margaret. Thank you very much. Where is... I've got Lois is here. I thought I'm going to get all the chickens of people who are around and might see, so we can show them off live as we go through. Emmy's working on a Snoop chicken right now. Hey, Mary, good evening. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much. Yes, other than the sniffly nose, I'm sort of there. Right, now, like you do on radio shows, what we would love, if you've got any Olympic themed stories, we'd love you to pop them into the chat. And then Fizz is going to do something very clever my end, so I can see those and then share them as the show goes on. So maybe you know someone that's in the Olympics. Did you train as an athlete? I reckon you did. I reckon, Margaret, were you in your younger days? Were you? That would be nice to know. Come on, tell us the stories. Did you visit any games? My story already went to the closing ceremony of the 2012 Olympics here in London. Oh, my word. What a spectacular show that was. So that was my little claim to Olympics. So let us know. All you've got to do is pop them in the chat. And then obviously people live get to see those, but people who may be watching on catch up, you'll get to see them as I pepper them through the show. So it will be lovely to hear what your Olympic theme stories are. So, are we ready to see our first set of 12 chooks? Fizz, are you ready to see your first 12 chickens? Yeah, they are in no particular order. In fact, the order is probably the order that I got them up onto my my recording thing as they flew in. So some of them were filmed about 4 weeks ago, and some of them were filmed I think yesterday. Yes, because we had number 80 flying in. So enjoy the first 12 Olympi'hens of our Olympi'hen show. First 12. I was emotional already just watching that. I hope you like them. Each 12 is around 2 minutes in length. And it was just a pleasure to record them, because we now have them down properly embedded in history, don't we? And you've all put an awful lot of work into those chooks. So being able to film them like that and then show them just was just something special to do, because in the window, don't get me wrong, they look fabulous in the window, but some get squashed behind others, and we rotate them round because we've got like a little feature in the middle for guess the nation for people who are walking past. Then we've got them on the side, which is the medal table too. In fact, I've been so busy doing the films, I actually haven't got any pictures. Maybe I'll try during the interview when there's a 20-minute, when I get a little break. I'll see if I can get them off my phone quickly. Never thought about doing a montage of the actual shop photos, but if not, you can go onto Twitter and see them on Twitter. But I thought it would be lovely just to show each and every one off here on our show. That's the main point of them. Now, did you spot that cool message in the chat, the live chatters from producer Fizz? It's all green. And it says she's been a member for 16 months. Now, that's what those W's are in the chat. In fact, as I scroll through, I can see so many different colour W's. Your W changes colour the longer the shop supporter member you are. You can subscribe to YouTube, and many of you have subscribed to my channel, but many of you have gone that one step before and what we call join the channel and become a member for $4.99 a month. It's like a ball of wool. And I know many of you love doing that because you're not local and you can't buy wool from the shop. So being a shop supporter is like you popping in once a month buying a ball of wool. But Fizz has gone yellow, that's the highest member for a year, but also it's gone green. It was a special message. She said, let us hear your Olympic stories. Did you once train as an athlete? Have you visited any games? And do you know any athletes? Any fun stories? But how cool is that? And that's lit up. I presume that would be technically like a super chat, but I don't think, Fizz, you paid for that. Did you get it for free, Fizz, yeah? So if you hover round the $sign, did you click on that and it gave you options, Fizz? Yes. So if you hover on there, you can send super stickers, super chat, and then, there we go, unlock members only perks. Ooh, or buy membership. Oh, there we are, digressing. But it looks pretty there. So yes. Your overlay's not on. Oh, right. That's very true, Fizz. I don't think I can do that because I'm in a special program and I haven't copied it over. So, no. Oops. We did tech, everybody. We did tech, but we teched 45 minutes before we went live. So it was teching by the seat of our pants because of being on a weekday now, not on a Sunday. So yes, indeed, the first 12, a lovely parade of girls. They were great, really colourful, wonderful first batch, absolutely. What's going on here with that? Get on there. There's my computer screen. Right, let's just shrink that. Not that. Come on, computer. There we go. There, that's better. I can see your comments now. Fantastic. What does James say? So at the end of the parade of feathered nations, is Stuart going to rank the song? Of course. I can't remember the song now, but it was. She was doing lots of hand gestures. It was fabulous. I really enjoyed watching the opening ceremony, but I do think it did lack a bit of atmosphere because obviously it was so stretched out. You didn't have the crowd and the hubbub of the crowd, but what an achievement doing it down the Seine and then the dancers here, there and everywhere. But so sad about the weather, really. Hey Jan, oh you missed your one. Your one was the first batch of 12, the Netherlands. I forgot his name now. Was it Jan? You did tell me before, didn't you? I've got your letter here somewhere in this pile. But yes, just saw him. Oh, bless you, Emmy. Thank you. You've just found that special button too. Oh, thank you very much. Right, are we ready for Guess the Year? Olympic themed, and for you geeks out there like me, it's all computer based. I think you might remember this. Are you ready? It's a good giggle, that's for sure. So I'm going to show you something. It's Olympic themed. You've got to guess the year of it. You've got a minute to come up with the year, and I'm going to put your comments in the chat. But first, let's take a look at the actual Guess the Year picture. Yes. Did you have a Spectrum? Did you have a Commodore 64? Me. And I loved this game. So what is the year? Oh, look, Fizz has even gone already. She's hot off the press. 1982 says Fizz. What year are you going to go for? It came out and we had to push the buttons on our keyboard like this to go running. I remember it in the arcade actually as well. It was just called Track and Field in the arcade, and you were hammering the buttons. So what year are we going to go for? A good evening, Margarita. 1984? Sue says 1980. Emmy's going for 1982. What are you going to go for? 1984, James? You had a Commodore. Cool. I think the Commodores were slightly posher than the Spectrum. I had a squishy key Spectrum first, and then we went to Spectrum got posh and went to the Spectrum Plus with the hard keys. Margaret says 1984. James, oh, that's gone small, isn't it? Why has that gone small for? Let's make that a bit bigger. The pixelated image of Daley could be coloured, pictured. Couldn't it just have that on the front of a jumper? Mary says 1981, 1982, Jenny, 1984, Lois. You had an Amstrad. James says 1984. Have you all been cheating? They're still coming in, 1984. I think too many of you are Googling. We don't normally get this many right answers, do we? Right, the answer for Daley Thompson's Decathlon is yes, 1984. Well done, everyone. So look at that. Karen, Kiwi James, Lois, Margaret, James, yes. Margaretta, yep, 1984. Oh, I've started the timer again. Look, get me. I do remember that game though, loved it. My fingers didn't like it at all because you, as I say, to run, to go left, right, left, right, left, right, you had to press Q. O, it's on the keyboard. What is it? Oh no, O and P, O and P, O and P, O and P. But I do remember fond memories of being at the local chippy when Track and Field was, you know, one of the big standy up ones, and you would have to push the buttons or you'd have to wiggle the joystick whilst waiting for the chips. I don't think did we? Yeah, we would have done, but we were also eating them there and hung out there. Right. Yeah. So Fizz's message. Does your message stay at the top now, Fizz? Does it hang up there or does it disappear? Oh no, yeah. Oh, I'll have to, it's still in the chat. I'm going to pin it to the top. Oh no, I can't pin that one because it was a special one apparently. Oh, pin message. Oh no, I've pinned Karen's message. Oh, unpin. Why can't I pin your one? Yeah, write it in the chat again. That's the weird and wonderful things of YouTube. We were just asking for your stories because I know people come in and watch the show at different points. But if you've got any fun Olympic stories, maybe you know an Olympian, maybe you trained as Olympian when you were in your younger years, let us know and we'll talk about them throughout the show. So I'm now looking at my schedule because we're keeping on bang, 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 bang. We need our second lot of ladies. So we now have chicken number 13 to 24 coming up for you. Is your chicken going to be in this one? Have you seen your chicken already? You'll have to do a big shout out in the chat, livers, if you see your chicken. If you're watching on catch up on replay, then pop it into the description below. But yes, so here's our second lot of chickens, chicken 13 to 24. Enjoy. Oh, it's the music that does it, doesn't it, as well? It's just like really stirring when you see the chicken going round and just looking stunning. And I know some of you are going, oh, that's me. There we go, Jenny. Croatia, that's mine. He sure is. And Croatia looking glorious. Fond memories of this one. It was lovely seeing you earlier today, Jenny, wasn't it? Croatia was the first Olympi'hen in when we started it, mid-April. So I always remember that. But I've been learning them. But there's just a couple of these to read out. And I know some of you might have heard these before. Ketty, who's in the house with Mauritius, the flag is safe. It is somewhere. But sent me a nice little letter saying, enclosed my Olympic chicken in colours of Mauritius because I'm an original island girl. Thank you very much. And I would like to see photos of your wind display with the Olympic chicks in. I'll send you a picture because I'll do that on email as well. But you can also see it on Instagram too. This one this is from No Name Person. I hope you're watching and you can let us know. You did two chickens. You did Cambodia and Albania. I say she. I'm guessing that's terrible assumption, isn't it? I don't often jump on on the everyone is doing this kind of bandwagon thing, but couldn't resist your evil genius way of making it such a pull. What was my evil genius way, I wonder? I lived in Cambodia for 17 years and then in Albania for 4 years. So they each hold a piece of my heart. Oh, and that's what's been so lovely, is people have been just saying to me why they've chosen it and for whatever reason. And some of them are just, I like the flag. And some of them where are we? Where's Jill's? I didn't know whether it was a nice... No, I did have them in order. Jill's was really... no, now I can't find it. Well, I was organised. Oh, no, there it is, staring me in the face. Look. That's an actual picture of an actual, tiger or leopard from... the safaris. Jill says, I enclosed Zambian chicken for your collection. It was a lot of fun to knit, and I know I will have to make at least one more to keep. I chose Zambia because I have happy memories of taking my kids there on safari holiday over 10 years ago. The photo on this card was taken by my son there. See, isn't that lovely? And that's what's been really nice, is reading your stories. Speaking of stories, if you've got any Olympic stories, I'm sure we're going to have some, aren't we? Pop them in the chat and it will be good to share them. It doesn't matter how tenuous. It could be really, really tenuous, couldn't it? Okay, right, 8:30, already 10 minutes over. Right, we've now got coming up for you a lovely little pre-record that I did with Michael. Michael knits on Instagram. He's just decided to start his own yarn company. Now, not like many of us do. We start with hand dyeing and getting some undyed wool and perhaps dyeing some pretty colours and then people buying it and then developing it. No, he went full out with a brand company with special yarns sourced from the mill, different certain particular breeds, and then got it spun, chose what to get spun, then to get it dyed, and not just like one or two colours. Oh, plethora. I think, did he say 14 or so? Well, he's going to tell you all about it now, as we had a little chat on Zoom the other day. And it's a lovely little interview. It's about 20 minutes where he talks about his passion, where it came from, the ideas. And you know me, I love talking about sheep. So it was great fun to have to talk about that. And he's based in America, and we get to look at the map a little bit as well and see where it comes. But what I liked about the chat is it's all about local. He's not just doing any yarn from around the world and just shipping it where you just don't know where it is. It's fully traceable. So you know the farms where the sheep come from, you know the mills where it's spun, you know the dye house where it's dyed, and that what makes a really, really good conversation. So I hope you enjoy it. 20 minutes, and I'll see you back here for the competition. Yes, we've got a super duper competition for you that's going to involve chickens and how many miles. I'll tell you more on the other side of our chat with Michael. Hello, Michael. Here we are. You're on the show. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Stuart. It's great to be here.
Well, and how have you found time to come with us? Because you've been a busy person, haven't you?
It's been kind of a crazy couple of weeks. Yeah, it has. It has. Luckily, it's calmed down a little bit, which is nice. I'm at a good pace, and I'm figuring everything out now. I think finding my footing a little bit.
Oh, well, they do say, don't they, if you're going to learn a language, go abroad to that country because you learn it within days. Well, you're learning to do a yarn company. I expect you've learned many things in the last couple of days, haven't you?
Many things. Yes, I had a brief moment of terror right when I was trying to go live. I got locked out of Shopify like 2 minutes before trying to press the button to go live. So that was a learning experience for sure. I had to use like recovery codes to get in. It was,
no.
My
Oh,
heart was pounding, but all went well. And it's been smooth sailing since then.
oh, well, it's lovely to have you with us. We've got about 15 minutes where me and
Great.
you are just going to talk about all things Upland Fiber Co. And sheep and the company and your ideas. So let's go straight into it first of all.
Great.
You are the
Yeah.
founder of Upland Fiber Co. How many years back have we got to go to when that idea first germinated?
It started last March, was sort of when it all started to take shape. I had been toying with the idea and getting really interested in American yarns and sheep breeds and sort of the fiber milling process. And I scheduled a tour to go see a fiber mill. And I had spoken to the owner prior and sort of started a relationship with her. And I went to visit her mill last March, and that was when it really sort of started to crystallize. And we started talking about, my
Wow.
idea, what would happen if we did such and such. And so I committed to a small sample last March to just sort of see if my idea, carried water, and then took it from there after we got the sample. And I got excited, and then, sort of
Yeah.
kept taking baby steps to sort of see. And I kept sort of telling myself, oh, I'll just do this next step, but I'm not going all the way in.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna see, oh, now I have the sample, so I'll do some color testing, and but I'm just testing,
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Wow.
Last
March, I thought seriously you were going to say, oh, I remember it clearly. It was about 8 years ago or something. It's that recent.
It's that recent since everything started taking shape. But, it's probably another 6 months prior to last March when I started thinking about
Okay.
the milling process and getting inspired and sort of wondering what it might take to create a yarn from scratch. So, it's a
Yeah.
couple years.
Well, I kind of know some of the process that you've gone through and that love
Yeah.
for fibre, because since having my knitting shop and then doing my lavender and blue, we source a fleece each year, and that excitement from finding a fleece or finding a farm and then finding a mill, there is something special about it. So I can understand how you've kind of got the bug for that. You must just love it.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love it. And it's been an amazing journey, sort of getting to meet the farmers and going to their farms and seeing how they raise the animals and all of that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
similar to what you must have done with your lavender and blue,
Absolutely.
which is lovely. I got some when
Yeah.
I was in your shop.
Oh, it was so nice to have you pop over. Viewers, he popped over literally out of the blue, and it was so nice. So Michael got to spend the afternoon in the shop, and it was lovely. Yeah, just hanging out knitting. Anyway, enough about me. Let's go, because I want the viewers, it's always nice to know where someone is based. And you're called Upland Fiber Co. So I thought, well, let's go to the map and see what Upland Fiber Co is. So let me push a few buttons. Here we are. So we're going stateside, if you hadn't already guessed. Explain to me about what we're looking at here on the map, and perhaps where Upland Fiber is or based, and that's sort
Sure.
of the area.
Okay, well, where I am is Pound Ridge, New York. So that's sort of in that little sort of corner of New York and Connecticut, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just above New York City or above Manhattan.
Oh, so right
Um,
down on the bottom bit in that little funnel where it goes right down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right in there on the sort of New York, Connecticut border is
Okay.
where I am. And then our fiber mill is directly north up into the Hudson Valley in upstate New York.
Okay.
So part of the Upland name is sort of a play on upstate, which is something we say for upstate New York. And upland is technically like a high area of land that's away from the sea. So
I
I
see.
could sort of say Upland, New York is where the fiber mill is, where some of our sheep are. So that was one reason that Upland as a name sort of popped into my head.
Oh, I see. And
So the
Go
up
on.
near where it's hard to see on this map, but probably 2 hours north 2 or 3 hours north of Manhattan is
Oh,
where the
wow.
fiber.
It's not far at all.
Not far at all. Everything about this yarn and sort of my idea and one of the goals and points of it was making not only an American yarn, but a very small footprint American yarn.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So everything with this first base that we've created takes place between New York and Pennsylvania, sort of, within a couple hours north of me and within a couple hours sort of west of me. So it's all very, very local and very small footprint-wise, which it was very.
Oh, it's brilliant! Absolutely brilliant, because you can source fibre from all around the world, can't you? And there are some mills where you can source fibre where you have no idea where it's from, but it's just been spun. There is something wonderful about knowing the mills and knowing the farms and knowing the breeds, isn't it? For sure. And people do want to invest in that, don't they?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people are starting to get more and more interested in exactly where their yarns are coming from. I know that was my experience, sort of the more and more I knit and sort of went down the rabbit hole of knitting and learning about breeds and how the process of yarns, the spinning methods, if it's worsted spun or woolen spun or, those kinds of details are getting more and more interesting to people. And I think, locally sourced and sort of small footprint is an interesting idea for people. I think it's something that people would like to get behind.
Absolutely. So let's have a look at your yarn then, because I've taken some of your pictures. You've got the fingering and the worsted, as we were just saying, and you've called it core. Is it core? Is that how I say it? Like, core, blimey, governor.
You did well. Yes, core is the name of this first yarn base. And that's mostly because it's a play on the two fleeces that are in the yarn, which are Corriedale and Cormo.
Oh, let's have a look. Let's get those pictures up because I thought we're bound to talk about those sheep, aren't we? Let's have a look. Let's take that one off. There's the Cormo off your Instagram site, and there's the Corriedale?
Corriedale, yeah.
Corriedale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those are the two sheep breeds that are that make up this yarn, and they're blended 50-50.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful sheep, originally from New Zealand and Australia, and they're both relatives of the merino sheep, which is interesting in their breeding history. Corriedale's a little toothier, and it's a little more sort of a rustic feeling yarn, and then Cormo's a finer wool yarn, a little closer to the fine merino side. So sort of blending the two together, my idea was that we'd sort of find a happy balance, a little bit of rustic feel, but also be still soft enough to wear against the skin, and that kind of idea was sort of finding a happy medium.
I was going to say, so when you were getting it spun or getting it test, as always, yarns develop. Did you find at one point, that's a bit too much of that one? Can we have a bit more of that one? Were you doing that conversation with the mill?
We were going to do that, but our first sample ended up sort of hitting out of the park. I think
brilliant.
But we went with this idea of let's pick all the middle grounds. We went 50-50.
Yeah.
The amount of twist we put on the yarn was like a sort of very healthy medium. Instead of going worsted or woolen, we did semi-worsted, so it's sort of right in the middle of all these categories.
Oh, yes.
So the point was to sort of create a workhorse, yarn that's sort of, it's good for cables, it's good in stockinette, it's good for color work. It's sort of not this or that. It's sort of right in the middle. That was the idea.
Which it's what you want from a workhorse yarn, isn't it? You want to be able to use it over and over again because it does fit in with cables. It does fit in with a nice jumper weight or whatever the knitter fancies. So why not? Great idea.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, what about the colours? Now, that must have been the harder part.
Colors took a while to sort of figure out. And the dye house that we used in Philly is a really incredible, like 5th generation dye house that's been there forever. in this beautiful old sort of industrial building in this industrial part of Philadelphia. And they have such great technology that they basically were like, send me anything and we can match it. You know, send us paint swatches, send us a picture, send us anything, and we'll sort of figure out how to match it. And that mostly worked. There were a few colors that we had to try 2 or 3 times until we got something that we really liked. But they also were pretty amazing about matching our original swatches right out of the gate, which was great.
And I suppose that's computers, isn't it? That's technology, digital technology coming into play there then.
Probably, yeah. I don't know exactly how they do it, but there's some mastermind in their color lab who's got it all figured out. Yeah.
Now, was there a colour that you knew you definitely wanted, and where did that exist? Was it like a book that you had, a cover, or what was the template you used for that colour?
There was no, I guess, no specific color. In terms of like the color range, I knew specifically that I wanted the 11 colors of the modern pride flag. So that was sort of what I was starting with. I get you. I sort of decided I wanted versions of those colors that I like, of those 11. And the goal was to sort of pick colors that all could stand alone and be like a monochromatic sweater, you know, be a color that worked by itself, but then, you know, that we had some that could work nicely together as well, and a fair mix of lights and dark tones, so you could do color work if you wanted. But I started with those 11, and then I realized I needed a couple other light colors because we had a lot of darks. So I added a second green, because I know, you know, greens are a popular color. And then I added a light gray because we had a dark. And then our undyed colorway was sort of the 14th. So we have 14 altogether.
Oh, I love it. They are all beautiful colours. And I know we gravitate to certain colours as well. From my experience at the shop, I always know a blue or a navy or a petroleum or a teal. They always fly out the window. Yeah, and that one's been pretty popular so far. That one that we have, the Mariner colorway, which is sort of a dark blue that has like a little bit of a teal. Let me change.
A little bit of a teal quality to it.
Oh, look at that, everybody! The sheen. Where's that coming from? Is that from one of the sheep?
The Corriedale has a little bit of luster, than the Cormo does. So yeah, it gets a little shiny in the light, which is really pretty.
It is really, really nice.
Yeah. Oh. And this is the one, I think you got some of this, didn't you?
Yes.
That was the scarf that I was working on.
We are giving that away, would you believe? We're doing doing a competition for the viewers on can they guess the cumulative miles that the chickens have flown to the shop.
Oh my God. Do you know that? You have that answer?
I do. I've done the research. I've been counting all the miles up, and whoever is the closest, if they're in America, they win your Mariner kit pack, which looks glorious. If they're in the UK, I'm giving them a different prize.
That makes sense.
We have so many viewers that watch from the US, so thought we want to really treat them, and I thought, yes, let's give away some of your yarn and that scarf, because it's a glorious scarf. It's like a fisherman's rib squishy scarf, isn't it?
Yeah, I have the one here that I was working on.
I'm loving this.
Very just thick, chunky fisherman's rib, and the pattern. You'll be giving away the pattern too, right? We have a kit on the top the pattern as well. But yeah, it's just a big, chunky worsted weight.
Well, there we are. Look, everyone, you could be winning this and knitting that. I love it. Core. That's all I'm going to do, Michael. Core, blimey, gov. Now, I know I'm saying that with a bit of jest because I didn't realise you tread the boards, Michael.
Oh God, I did. Yes, I did. Those were my early days. My early life was in theater.
Yeah,
mostly musical theater. Yeah. in New York and on tour. I toured the country in my 20s a lot. Spent a lot of time on tour buses when
Oh,
I was doing a lot of knitting.
I was just about to say, were you knitting then? Whilst on,
I was.
were you?
Yeah, I learned to knit around age 9. My aunt Lynn in Arizona taught me on one of our trips out to see her. And then I sort of, knit on and off throughout my life in different periods, depending on how busy I was or whatever. But in my 20s, when I was spending a lot of time on tour buses across the country, I was knitting and crocheting and needle pointing and doing all the things
Oh,
because we were on the bus for
and
10 hours
oh,
to the
and
next
that's
city.
how you got these skills. Viewers, let me show you. We're going to go to your Instagram before we
Okay.
finish, Michael. Let's just call
Okay.
this up, and let's get rid of that and that. And then the sheep in the background. Let's just click on a few things here. Viewers, if you've not seen Michael Knits on Instagram, well, you're missing out because we can see this is your skills here in abundance. Look at look at those cables to some lovely simple stocking stitch scarves there. Oh, I can't scroll anymore. Classic that.
Got
Do you
lots of.
have a favourite type of knit? I see you do a lot of cables there. Any
Yeah.
particular preference that you have?
I've been getting a lot more into sort of heavily textured knits recently, cables or lots of sort of knit purl textured things because they seem to be sort of very classic and easy to wear all the time. But I like doing a bit of color work. I find it sort of comes and goes
Yeah,
in waves. I sort of get excited about a certain style for a while, and then I need to take a break and do something different. But right
absolutely.
now I'm into texture and sort of chunky things these days.
Oh, well, it's been a pleasure chatting to you. I'm just going to get your website up so we can have a look. I press this button. It's another button I press. Here we go. That's the Instagram. So let's get rid of that. Viewers, if you a good old Fizz. No, where's my button? There it is. Fizz is dropping the links in as we chat, so you can click and go direct to Upland Fiber Co. Look at those sheep. And there you go. You can see core. You can see it in fingering weight and in worsted weight. Oh, I know I shouldn't ask you this, Michael, but do you have a
Yeah.
favourite out of the two?
Fingering and worsted. I have been working more in the fingering recently. I just, do I have it? I finished this really great textured shawl not too long ago. And the fingering weight is just beautiful.
Oh,
Let
look
me
at
see.
that. Oh,
Um,
I
but I mean, they're both great. They're both great.
yes. I
I'm biased, but
I go through waves. I know how wonderful fingering is for
yeah,
definition, but I also know how long it takes. So give me worsted
it does take
anytime.
a long time. Yeah, it's nice right now because it's so hot outside. So fingering is sort of what I'm doing now. But as we get into fall, I'll probably get heavier, and switch back to the worsted.
Oh, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I can't believe this idea only started in March. It's amazing. Oh, you must be thrilled as well.
I'm thrilled. Yeah, I'm very excited about what's been created. I think we made an amazing yarn,
Yeah.
and I'm really proud of that. The rest is going to be sort of a learning
Oh,
experience and figuring it out as I go. But
indeed.
but I'm
And
so
that's
proud
the
of the yarn.
exciting thing, isn't it? You don't know where it's going to
Yeah,
go. That was like me when I left teaching to start my
yeah,
shop. Who knew that
yeah.
I would then get into lavender and blue and find a love for wool and sourcing wool and getting it spun But that's the journey we go on. And I can see it's going to be very exciting watching you, Michael, and how your company develops, and whether you find different sheep and get different breeds and get a different line in or whatnot. But the most important thing is you are contributing to that local economy. You are keeping local traditions going and farmers going and reinvesting in local. And that means so much in this current day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to crack on with our Olympic show. Have you been enjoying watching the Olympics? Well, you've had any time,
I have. I've been watching mostly clips. Unfortunately, I got overwhelmed by how much there is and how much footage there is that I've sort of bowed out of watching a lot of it, and I'm just catching up on the clips here and there.
Oh well, it's been a great one. Have you seen Tom Daley in his knitting?
Oh God, yeah, absolutely.
we can't miss that at all, can we? Oh, cheers, Michael. It's been a pleasure chatting to you, and good luck with Upland Fiber Co. Really good.
Thanks.
Cheers, Michael. Bye-bye.
Bye.
How lovely was that? Quick change. Wonderful. Back live with you all. It was great chatting to Michael. And isn't this yarn wonderful? And I just watching the chat towards the end there. And Bob, good to see you, Bob. Yay. Hi, Michael. I got his worsted weight. Oh, doesn't it look lovely? Beautiful shawl, Michael, wasn't it? Go onto Instagram, look at his stuff if you don't already follow him. Amazing. Can you believe he only, to a certain extent, the knitting took over in COVID, but he thought of this idea last March and it's now made it into a full company. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Karen, yes, how exciting. Good luck with your new venture, Michael. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And good to see you too, Gary. Popping up. I did see you. Where are you? He's just disappeared. Oh, yes. Oh, you were loving the greens. Good to see you. Really, really nice. So competition time. We've got 5 minutes to talk through the competition because we mustn't crash the OlymPIPS at 9 o'clock. So we definitely know it's 9 o'clock. Competition. 3 prizes. If you're in the States, you get the chance to win that special kit from Upland Fiber. Upland Fiber. I nearly did an impression as Kiwi James said there. Yes, I was. My twang came through, didn't it? Upland Fiber. You get a kit. Fizz has already got it. It's nice. Have you squished it, Fizz? She has. Yeah. And we chose the navy one, 3 hanks of Upland Fiber and the pattern. It's a kit. To be fair, you could chuck the pattern if you wanted to and use the 3 hanks for something glorious instead. But the pattern is there for you as a special kit. So that's for the someone in the States to win. It's 3 prizes. In the UK, you have, remember when I went to Germany to the big yarn exhibition for us traders, you've got these special one-off balls of wool that I got given. So that's another ball of wool for socks. There's three pairs of socks there. That's for someone in the UK. And we would also like to treat you wherever else you are in the world, but rather than sending perhaps what could be a very expensive parcel, we'll treat you to an electronic document from Ravelry, 2 patterns. So you could be in Germany or anywhere in the world, Kiwi James, you could win if you get it right, you could win 2 electronic patterns on us. If you're in Britain, 3 balls of sock wool. If you're in America, you can win the amazing kit from Upland Fiber. So here's what you do. You have to guess the total mileage that the chickens, our Olympi'hens, have flown to my shop. Now, bear in mind, there are many of the Olympi'hens have been made by our knitter natters in the village. So very few miles have perhaps been built up. But you already know from our chats here too that one's come from Germany, from Margarita. Another one has come from, we saw the American one, didn't we? From Zach in Arkansas. What is the total mileage? And we're going to give a winner to the closest American, we're going to give a winner to the closest UK, and we're going to give a winner to the closest person anywhere else in the world. All you have to do is put in what you think is the total mileage. And you put it in a special form that Fizz is going to drop into the chat. You click on it. It's just a nice little Google form. It doesn't collect any information other than your email address, so we can email you if you win, and which area you're in. So we know if you're in America, we know if you're in the UK, or if you're in the rest of the world. Okay, so that is it. So just get ready for our pips, our OlymPIPS. We've only got 20 seconds to go. Where's that? Ready? Here we go. It's our OlymPIPS for 9 o'clock. Yep, on the nose. This is fun. Get ready, everyone. Pip. It's 9 o'clock. There are OlymPIPS. I'm so sad, aren't I? When I had this idea, I thought, oh God, yes, how cool would that be? So there we go. So 9 o'clock, we've got probably another 45 minutes left. If you can hang around, we might speed up. So that's the competition. So pop that in the form. You just type in what you think is the total mileage of all 80 chickens. We've got the total mileage. Are we going to give you a clue? Might do. No. Okay, talking about Olympi'hens, you look at the bottom, because where at the bottom it says who's made it and where they're from. So you could go back and look at each one of them and try and work it out if you want to. Here we go. So this is a set lot of 3 chickens. Chickens 37 to 48. I think I've done that. God, the schedule's going all over the place. Oops, sorry, Fizz. Yeah, I pressed the wrong button and I went to set chickens 37 to 48 before doing 25 to 36. Oh dear, I'm so conscious about hitting those 9 o'clock OlymPIPS. Wonderful. Now, we've got loads and loads of guesses. Look at that. 220, what's that? 26,487 kilometres. Sue's going for 91,826. Mary's going for 84,500. Woo! It's lovely you putting them all into the chat here. I can see what you're doing. You're trying to sort of get some clues out of my responses. But they don't count for the competition in the chat. You've got to put it in that form because that form makes us easy to keep all the answers together. Fizz has dropped it in there. It's a simple Google form. You just click on it and it will take you to wherever. There's a long deadline, so you've got plenty of time to think about it. The deadline is not until the closing ceremony this Sunday. So if you're watching on catch up, it's a treat for you too, because I know not everyone watches live, and some people are dedicated. They want to go back and watch them all to try and work it out. So don't worry, you don't have to put your answers in today. You can think about it. You have till the closing ceremony, I think when it starts, which is 7 o'clock. We'll put the link in the description too once this live is finished and it goes to a normal video. But 3 prizes. So someone in the States can win, someone in the UK can win, and someone around the world can win too. Okay. Right. So what did I end up choosing to do in the end? The gallery. Did we say we're going to do the gallery? Yeah, we're going to chill it down a bit as always. You have been busy. The summer doesn't stop many of you from knitting. I know the general public perhaps don't do as much crafting, but many of you carry on going, and you've been tagging us in with your finished objects makes on Instagram and on email, and they look amazing. Now, if you get inspired by anything you see in the gallery, Fizz puts the link in there, which takes you to my website, thewoolpatch.com/gallery, and you can then see in the order they appeared in what it is. So if you saw something that someone was wearing and you went, oh, I love that jumper, just look at the order, say it was number 5, go to the website, and you'll see everything about that, because you lot are getting very good at writing down what the yarn is, what the pattern is, and so forth, what the designer is. So you've got everything there. So if you see anything, you know where to go. Otherwise, just sit back now for a couple of minutes and look at the amazing work of people's finished objects in the gallery. How cool. Amazing. And yes, Jenny, I saw you. Where's your message there? Oh, I've lost it now. You're like, woo! Dinky Graphs, Jennifer. First time I've been in the gallery. Well, you tagged us in on the Instagram. So it was lovely to be able to find it and pop it in. In fact, where are your three girls? Mexico. I have to look for the golden. Yes. There's one of yours. This is Mali. See, I've been learning. And I remember yours because you gave them all gold. What did you write? I've got your thing here somewhere saying, here we go. We're organised. You did Denmark, Mexico and Mali. The gold on the Mexican chicken represents the eagle on their flag as well. Although they all have gold beaks to represent the gold medals they may win. Fabulous. And where are the other ones? They're dotted around somewhere. Oh, and then, of course, you just saw at the end there, Zach in his stunning crochet. He is such a crocheter. Look, and this is Zach's Olympi'hen. Fabulous, isn't it? Shall we have... Oh yeah, take off the French one, and shall we have America? Ooh. That'll teach me to have a fiddle live. Is it going to hit the tail? Oh no! Oh! It's all falling to pieces. So the competition, yes, please in miles. Though it doesn't really matter. To be fair, we could just do a bit more work. But yes, in mileage would be great. And I like this Carla, good to see you, Carla, joining us. Where are you located in the UK? That makes a difference. It does indeed, doesn't it? I think Sue's already answered it, but yes, down in sunny Suffolk. So you have to think about that. And see. Now, there has been some chat when I said about your stories of the Olympics, whether you know anyone or if you've done anything. Have you had a fun story? Have you been to the Olympics? Karen says, I can say I have definitely never trained as an athlete. I'm built for crafting, not sport. Yes, but if crafting was an Olympic medal, you would sure get gold for definite. So that I went up to Karen's sewing room a couple of weeks ago when I was up north. In fact, I delivered the lavender and blue to Karen to her very door and went into her sewing room. Wowzers. That's a lot of fabric and a lot of making. And it's good to see someone making so much as well. And still supporting local, even though you had more than enough fabric. It means a lot. And Margarita, lovely story here. My colleague of many years who retired a couple of years ago was, unbeknownst to me, one of the best German high jumpers and ready for the Olympics in Munich 1972. Wowzers. Love it. Brilliant. Right. Speaking of Olympi'hens, shall we see another 12? Even though I got them out of order. So I just have to change to my button. Which one are we going to? We've got to do 25 to 36, haven't we? Hang on there, Fizz. I'll just get onto that one. So next batch of chickens, 25 to 36. Here we go. Oh, such cool Olympi'hens. Fabulous. We're all getting button happy here. Fizz is getting button happy in the chat. Don't worry, Judith. We just had some technical issues of being hidden and unhidden and deleted. It's those three dots. They get in the way, don't they, Fizz? It's really small. But lovely to have you here. And actually, I've just seen that message from Judith too. Excuse me. 6:15 a.m. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. And now I can do this. On my way to the pool to train for an open water swim in Turkey. Good luck. That's early, isn't it? But it's nice. The sun is up. It's not like, oh no, it's winter for you guys over there, isn't it? So is it dark at 6:15? Oh, that's not so nice, is it? Whereas here it's light at 4 a.m. because it's the summer, isn't it? She's on the podium. Love the gallery. Yes, it's always good. Gary, you're getting clucky. I think that's because of all that chat I saw above about Tom Daley. We're going to talk about him in the news section coming up soon. Dinky Jennifer, yes, I found the time to do one per month. Oh, wowzers. They were, all three were brilliant. Every chicken's a winner, aren't they just? It's nice having them on the podium. Bob says, number 32, Washington DC or Washington State. There's a few thousand miles difference. It's Washington State. Yeah. Just been informed in my ear. Oh no, Judith, it's definitely dark. 8 degrees Celsius. Oh, well, you're incredible then, getting up in the morning when it's dark. That's hard work. Very much so. Right, let's look at the gallery now. Oh, we need to do a quick little shop update before we do the news. So I need to press this button. Shop news. So the lavender and blue pre-orders are being sent out. I will go to my friends who have, especially the international ones, my friends at Yarnworks have got a different international system, which basically means sending big boxes isn't too expensive. So we can send them out over the next 5 or 6 days. So you'll start to have them come through basically over August if you've pre-ordered. Many of you pre-ordered when we released it in June and July. I've done all the dyeing and now they're ready to go out. And the rest, there's about, of the 2024 collection, there's about 20 hanks left. It's flown out. Your support has been phenomenal with the lavender and blue 2024 collection, which is beautiful Rylands from a farm 15 minutes or so down the road in the next village called Hadley. And Ros was the shepherdess. It was a beautiful yarn. But if you still want to get some of the 2024 collection, you can still do that. But I know many of you are interested in the minis. And the minis, I've been dyeing them not last week because I was completely bush-tuckered, weren't I, with COVID. But the few weeks before, we've done loads of minis, 20-gram minis of merino and nylon in loads of different blues. And I know many of you are mini fans. In fact, Emmy, you might have seen her lavender and blue in the gallery. That was all done with minis. I sent her a nice fade set of minis. Now, if you do go onto the website to my shop to buy them online, there is a little box where you could say, oh, I'd like a fade, or I'd like all light ones, because you can get pale blues, you can get dark blues, you can get also variegated ones. I need to do better colours really. But they are there on the shop too. 75% merino, 25% nylon. There's something quite sweet about the minis, isn't it? They feel like sweeties, don't they? And the other thing for shop news is, are you a fan of the West Yorkshire Spinners Colour Lab? We are. We've got it at the shop. We've got all the colours. Well, they've just gone and released 4 new colours. Somewhere here. I've got them. 4 new colours. Now, Colour Lab, when it was first made, it was a very bright and bold range. Fizz has got the links. She'll drop them in below, and you can go and see on my website. They are very bold, big bright blues, bright yellows, bright reds. It's, you know, that classic sort of rainbow colour collection. But it's been so popular that I think people have wanted more and have been asking for requests. So they've finally done a classic navy. Look at that. Isn't that brilliant? So this is double knit, 100% wool, British wool. So we don't really know what the makeup is. We just know there's lots of different types of British wool breeds in there. And it's 100-gram ball. And you can wash this at 40 degrees, but it's not super wash. But they've obviously done something to it. No, how do we do this? Like that. So that's the navy. And then with classic navy, they've got a beautiful mustard. And we've needed this for some time because the range is lovely and bright, but also some of us just want something a bit more muted and a bit more modern. This is the mustard. And that goes, yeah, it is a beautiful colour, Fizz. And it goes so well with the navy, doesn't it? They do love their greens. They've actually got more greens in Colour Lab than any other colour. I think now there are 4 greens now, and they've introduced a new one called Fern Green. It's almost like your classic olive, because there's a shamrock green, almost the stereotypical Irish, what you would associate with Irish, hence the name as well. We've then got an emerald green, which is like from Emerald from Wizard of Oz. And then you've got a lime green. So this is actually a nice addition to that palette. That one is called Fern Green. And then a beautiful, soft, buttery stone. So a nice neutral. We have a cream and we have like a latte brown, whereas this is just really nice. It's not really a beige. There's a bit more brown to it. It's not really yellowy, but they are the 4 new colours. So if you are a fan of using wool and you're a fan of Colour Lab, DK, then you're going to love those 4 colours. So you'll be seeing that online and all around. All the local yarn shops that sell the West Yorkshire spinners will probably be advertising that. There's also new colours coming soon in their Aran, of Colour Lab Aran with some tweed, and there's also the special yarn which we're all waiting for in September, which has got the British mohair in. That is going to be phenomenal. So there we go. So we're looking for that one. Right, I'm just going back to my schedule where I went out of sync. And we've done that one. We've done that. Celebrate the makes. What's on your needles, everyone? I haven't done much since being poorly, but the Ume is somewhere around. I'm still going. It's back, and it's doing the top down, but it's flat first. So I'm doing that. Any of you making any chickens still? Or that's it, you're done. I don't see us getting any more in now. We're there. We're up to 80 chickens. What are you knitting? Pop it in the chat and we'll see. Sue says the stone is a lovely colour. It is. It's just a nice sort of gentle, fresh colour too, without being too browny. If you get me. Bob, yes, what's on your needles? I'm testing knit. I'm a test knitting a hat. Are you? A hat? Oh, has he posted any pictures? Are there any spoilers? Oh, that's really exciting. Good. I like a nice beanie hat. Oh no, is it I did see one. Is it the one with the colour work? Is it the roses or the flowers? I think I might have seen that. Yes, what's on your hooks too? Thank you, Emmy, for reminding us. What's on your hooks? I am making chicken still. Do you? The crochet pattern has really developed. I know many people have been, let's put British, there you are, Team GB. I know it has come a long way and people are now really talking about how nice the crochet one is. Jenny, what are you doing? I'm knitting a cardi for my 8-week-old granddaughter. Oh, congratulations. Do you know what? I need to do another knit for my little great nephew? You think? The Stella quilt blanket. Oh, speaking of, yeah, we've got the charts coming up later. Oh, I'll have to have a look at that one, Fizz. Oh, it is that one. Yes, thanks, Bob. Sue has started a Corran cardigan in Linendale Damson. Oh, that was the one you did the sample in, wasn't it? In fact, a customer came in today, Sue, and saw the Linendale and saw the lacier sample. And would you believe they had a lace kind of double knit version that they wanted to do? So I showed them the sample. And it was like, oh, that was meant to be. So they bought 6 balls of it, Sue. So thank you for that little sample. Margarita, what are you doing? I'm knitting a summer top, Kivit by Meju Knits. I've got some yarn for another Bell tank top by Mabel Knitting. Oh, lovely. Very new German. We like new designers, right? Sue, get Ravelring that name. Fizz, type that in and see what that one comes up. A very new German designer. On my hooks, as always, a lovely granny blanket. Oh, I see you're one that goes from crochet and knitting, but having good old classic grannies. Yes, so you don't have to really concentrate. Dinky Crafts, I'm hooking a blanket and a rabbit and knitting another blanket. Oh, wow, I did ask. Brilliant. Karen, I have a shawl called Black Pearls, and I've also found a lovely bag pattern which I will use. Fabulous. Can't wait. Carla, hey Carla, I'm knitting the simple thing, a mini scarf. See, this is what I love, because I know many of you now are going to go and Ravelry these and go, ooh, that is really nice, and add it to your queue. So wonderful. Oh, have you done it? Fizz is now going to put it in the chat. You are good. What else? The Simple Thing mini scarf, one in pink, peach, one in blue. Lovely. Emmy, also teach myself to do the... Oh, yes, the doodle decks of crochet. Oh, yes. I'll have to get those out and show everyone. Oh, well, there's the Stella quilt. Oh, right. I need to look at that, don't I, Fizz? Yeah. Hey, Kelly. Crocheting a new sweater. I'm even better. Or rather, redesigning. Oh, okay. Well, it's still all right. How nice is that? Yes, I'm in my... I love this. What Colin made for me, my Shawn Mendes cardigan. It is just wonderful. And I like switching it up between the white vest or the black vest, too. There we go. Right, we were talking about your Olympic stories, if you've just joined us, because we're obviously talking about all these Olympi'hens, all 80 of them. Let us know any fun stories that you've had in the Olympics. Did you go to the opening ceremony? Do you know an Olympian by any chance? Or did you go and try and do the Olympics when you were Well, I say younger, you could be doing it now when you're older. Kiwi James says, Olympic story. About 35 years ago, my parents had a corner store, and one day when I was on the counter, the gold medal winning equestrian Mark Todd came in for an ice cream. Oh, he was a delightful man. Oh, that's wonderful. There we go. I can add that now. Now my comments is working. Oh, wonderful. Absolutely brilliant. Isn't it funny, the stories that you can remember? Rightio. Let's go back to some more chickens, everyone. We need to do 49 to 60. And then we've got to get a rattle on, haven't we? I did say 2 hours, didn't I? Can you bear another 20 odd minutes or so? Chickens from 49 to 60 now parading before your very eyes. Sound button. Fabulous. Karen, did you see yours? New Zealand there. And we saw, when I spoke about it earlier, we had, what was that? Was it Zambia? I've forgotten now. Or Namibia? No, yeah, Zambia. Let's read you a few more stories from people. So this is from Renee. Thank you, Renee. Thank you for putting the idea out there. I chose Senegal as peanut stew from Pierre. Oh, I don't know who that is. Pierre Tien's cookbook. Senegal is a favourite of mine. See? So people have chosen such... I love the stories behind them. They can be just something simple like that, or it can be I've met my future husband in this country. It's wonderful. Right. Shall we do some news? Do you think Tom Daley's going to be in the news with knitting at the Olympics by any chance? Let's take a look. Right. Oh, I'm all close. Let's just... wasn't expecting that on the camera. Let's just zoom me out a tad. There we go. So, some big news. You might have seen this on social media. If not, you might want to be sitting down when I tell you it. Yeah. More 4, which is one of the sub-channels of Channel 4 here in the UK, have proposed a knitting competition show. Yep. You've all been talking about it. You've been like, oh, we've got the sewing bee, we've got the pottery. We want a knitting show. And I know many of you have been saying it, but it's like, how do they do it? Well, they think they know what they're doing and have come up with a format. So it's they've called it the Game of Wool. And if you just go Channel 4 knitting show, it will take you to the More 4 website where you can read the proposal. It's this idea it's very similar to the Sewing Bee format that I can make out from reading it. You've got 2 judges and you've got a group of contestants. But they obviously understand that you can't knit quick enough. You can't do it. So how are they going to work it out? So they've said it's lots of small makes, so perhaps jewellery, cushions, homeware, that sort of thing, which you could probably do, could you, even in 3 or 4 hours? I don't know. But they've got this idea of 2 different sort of areas of makes and competitions of a program. You've got the big knit, where you don't work on your own. If you're, say, 10 contestants, you might be with a group of 4 or 5 where you contribute to a bigger knit. So that sounds quite nice because there's a bit of teamwork there. So it may not be quite so lonely like it is on the Sewing Bee. And then you've got what they call the wee knit. And they've used that terminology because they're basing it in Scotland. And that's going to be the setting. And so they've got the wee knit, which might be the small things. So there's not much else to go on. They haven't said anything else, but let us know what you think. It's quite exciting because they're looking for contestants. And yes, who got a message in their Instagram request? Me. So they've already approached me and said, oh, you look like someone ideal for our Game of Wool knitting program. Would you like to go for it and apply when applications open? So I just happened to say, well, could do. But I did say, but I've got a shop. Does that make me a professional more than an amateur? But wouldn't it be cool? If not, it does mean we've got another show to talk about, because I know many of you loved watching The Sewing Bee with me and Ting, or you loved watching me and Carol with All Gathered Up. Well, it now means we've got another show to do, because we could talk about a knitting show, a knitting competition. If I'm not on it, obviously. So that's gonna be fun. So if you want to know more about the Game of Wool, have a look. But as I say, it's very early days. They've only just commissioned as a proposal. Filming obviously hasn't even started. They haven't even got any contestants yet. They haven't even released it. So it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Knitting. How would it work? Don't know. Oh, I don't know, Fizz. I don't know. She was saying, could it be from sheep to shawl shearing? Don't know. Could be anything. It's going to be quite exciting. Don't know whether it will even work. It might be a 1-season wonder, mightn't it? But do you know what? The most important thing is it's knitting, crafting on almost mainstream. I know it's More 4 and not actual Channel 4, but like the pottery, throwdown and whatnot. But it's still on TV, which has got to be a good thing, hasn't it? What are you lot saying about that? Hoping it will stream to the US. Yes. Yeah, because, More 4 perhaps will do it more than the BBC, I think. Carla, I love that the UK shows that highlight tradition. Yes, absolutely. We don't see any of that aside from cooking. Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it? How they assume that people don't want to watch it. But yeah, we want it. Please apply, everyone. Yes, indeed. Because obviously the more we apply, then perhaps the more successful it will be. I'd love to watch your chat show. I know. Would it be good? That would be really, really good. I feel I could be able to contribute more as well. That'd be good. Though Ting clearly wouldn't, because no, he could do about crochet, couldn't he? Margarita, yes, the Danish ones was really good too. Oh, is there? Oh, so perhaps this format is being bought from another TV company then, maybe. Oh, I might have to do more research on that. Stuart asked Couture Colin, as he seemed to know about the format when he called in. Well, yes, I think he was the one that WhatsApped me this, because it was all doing the rounds. And Kelly, hey Kelly, RuPaul's Drag Race takes place over multiple days because of the time and effort put into the challenges and the runway looks. So something similar, couldn't it? There we are. So that's Game of Wool. Second on our news, Dreams from Knit Pro is coming worldwide. Currently, Dreams was only available in America, but now, since Knit Pro and Knitter's Pride have come one company, one name from America and Europe, they're releasing it worldwide. And it does look lovely, and I think I might get it in the shop because think of it as the mother and the father. in mother is symphony needles and father is zing. If you got those two together, you'd get Dreams, because it's basically coloured birchwood. And they do look lovely. So you've got the birchwood of symphony, but you've got the colour of the zings. And they're releasing them in all aspects. So you've got pins, you've got interchangeables, you've got mini interchangeables. They do look wonderful. So might have to get that. So watch the space. They'll be hitting the shops big time. I'll have to make more room for those, I think. Might be our new favourite. Okay, next. Waves 2.0. I don't know how I feel about this. Let us know in the chat. They are being released now. So hopefully our shops will be able to start buying them in over August and September. They have recoloured them. Now, I thought they were going to change them from curved nose to an inline nose, and from what I can see on the pictures, they haven't done that. They've just literally colour branded them, and I'm a bit sad about the colours because we've all just learned them. If you are a Waves fan, you know that your 4mm is your orange, you know your 5mm is your yellow, and you know your 6mm is your pink or blue. And they are all colours of the rainbow. Whereas now Waves 2.0, they've gone, you can see it there. It's like a mauve colourway into blue colourway into teals, greens. And I don't know how easy it is to learn those compared to the red and the yellow and the blue and the pink and the green, that were definite colour changes. This seems like more of a colour palette where you've got your pinks and your mauves and your blues, your light blues and your dark blues. So I'm just thinking, when you're rummaging through your box, how much easier is it to find these colours compared to the original Waves 1.0? So now, and I don't know whether that means they are then writing off 1.0 Waves, and then you'll only be able to buy these ones. So I wonder what the 4mm will be. Will it be that blue one there? I'll have to see when they're released. But it does look pleasing to the eye, I think, from a distance, that palette. But how easy it is to find your actual one. I suppose it's just like learning it all again, isn't it? Let us know what you think of those. Let's see what you're saying. Do you not know Fizz doesn't know how to crochet. Have you never learned, Fizz? Have you tried? Oh, she could do a chain. Stinky says, I use Knit Pro cable needles for blanket and Zing for socks. Yes, yeah. Many people have preferences of Knit Pro needles for whatever project, whether that's the wood or the metal or the aluminium and whatnot. Kelly, not a huge fan of waves because of the shallow hook heads. Ah, yes. So I don't think just changing the colours is going to change things much. No, I thought they were going to change that from the curved one to the flat one and made them more sharper, but I don't think so. Yeah, it is. It is, I suppose, and I love teal and the greens, but it's just I think it was easier with the old colours to distinguish when you're looking through, a case full of them. James, what do you say? Game of Wool at least has some credibility with Decathlon as one of... Oh, yes, Di, sorry. I don't know who that judge was. I don't recognise that name. But in the blurb, they mentioned their... Oh, I know. Yes, Fair Isle. They're walking down the aisle of the church. Yeah, good spot there. And what have we got next on our news? Yes, he's there. He's been knitting. Just in case we didn't know, it is all over. And it is wonderful seeing him. And I think I spotted Kiwi James, one of your messages saying how he has developed. Yes, he has developed where he no longer does, because he used to do, you call it duplicate stitch. So you would sew over the top the faux V's to make a picture. He's actually learned Fair Isle, or colour work, should I say, for the first time. And I've got a little video here. Where is he? There. So look at that. So he's done his colour work there with the Paris and then the flags, the two flags at the bottom. And this is on his Instagram, so you can go and see it and get the sound too. But that looks impressive. The Daley works really well, doesn't it? But he shows us his floats soon. And bless him, yeah, he's like, no, I'm not bothering about catching my floats. I'll just let them carry on because you can see. Oh, look, that's his 5. That's his. Yeah, look at those. Look at those long ones. Look at that long white one there. And you think, well, do you know what? Don't blame me there. Is life too short to be precise like that? He's not going to get his hands caught in them there, but it looks really good. And he does love his chunky yarn, does Tom. That's kind of his signature look for sure, isn't it? And let's do that. So that's going to play again. But to see him knitting, to see him knitting, just it brings it back, doesn't it? And I know many of you have said, well, we're all knitting all the time anyway, but it does do wonders for the boost of knitting shops during this time. Reminds people that we're still here and we're still knitting. Yeah, that's this year's one. You can see him doing the Paris one there. So that is great to see, and it gets the conversation going, doesn't it, of knitting and what you're doing. And people are fascinated. The press are fascinated, though, when he does his knitting. It's like they've never seen knitting before. The press are like, oh my God, someone's knitting. But it is wonderful. Now, speaking of knitting too, you'll love this. So we've got our Olympi'hens. Well, now you've got the Olympic knits. And it's a lovely story of a village in Surrey, of a group of neighbours who have knitted like an Olympic village. And they couldn't knit people because it was too much work. So they knitted jelly babies, and they're doing all sorts, and I've got a video here too. Look at that. You've got synchronized swimmers, look, with a peg on their nose. You've got boxers, you've got athletes, and there they are, all 9 of them knitting all these different sports, and it looked fabulous. And that made the BBC website, as obviously as well as our chooks. And all 80 of them, let's pop them back there. There we go. There we are. That's all. Yes, this one here. You need this picture of of me outside the shop. So you can see the window there, and that's where they all sat. And then the BBC came in, and we had a good chat, and we made it onto the website too, which was fabulous. And because of that, everyone has been coming because they've gone, oh, we want to come and see the chickens. So you can understand I was gutted last week when I was poorly. It's like, oh my God, all these people coming to see the chickens. So Sue, thank you very much. Really, thank you very much for taking over the shop, keeping it open so people could come and visit. Right, we're on our penultimate set of chickens, Fizz. Can you believe that? 10 minutes to go, and we're gonna finish on the nose if you're still there watching. So we've got chickens 61 to 72 coming, and then our last lot. So enjoy, ladies, 61 to 72. See, they are just stunning, aren't they? For so many different reasons. Some more little messages here. You would have seen two of Pauline's there. Moldova and Ethiopia, and this is what she said in Moldova. I chose Moldova as my daughter-in-law, Ilona, is from Moldova. Ilona and my son Guy met in Cyprus and have now settled in England. She is a very sweet young woman, so of course my first choice was for my chicken to represent Moldova. Isn't that lovely? And then Ethiopia, at the back there, oh, you can't see it, but Ethiopia is there. Pauline as well. I thought I'd bring that one home too, because she says, Ethiopia, I had a major cancer operation last November. All clear now. Woohoo! That's wonderful. My lovely and caring medical doctor was from Ethiopia, and that is the reason for my second chicken. Wow. It just makes you get those goosebumps of the stories, of the feelings and the emotion behind these. Jeans that you saw there, that was the Uganda. Oh, down at the floor there. Bless her. Jean's one of our knitter natterers on a Friday and is new to knitting. So she wanted to join in. So we taught her knitting, taught her what to do. She learned short rows for the first time. Bless her, she sewed it up wrong. So before I was poorly, I was unpicking the base. And of course, you saw that black wool. And then we sewed him up. And then we got so carried away that I forgot to put the the comb and the wattle on. So, and the tail looks a bit wonky. But I said to Jean, doesn't matter. You've made an Olympian, and everyone comes in different shapes and sizes. And the thing is, you've just learned to knit. So it doesn't matter. They are all so different. That other one of Pauline's has a massive tail, and as it was spinning around, he got caught, so I had to flip his tail over. And that's what's so lovely about them. They're all different shapes and sizes, as us Olympians would be in real life. But the stories that come with it are wonderful. Margarita, I still got your card here. And what's this one here? Christy. Which one? You're from Ohio. Thank you so much for the fun communal project. See chickens coming from everywhere. I really have enjoyed it. My emotional support chicken is representing American Samoa. See, there were countries I didn't even know about. Can't wait to see a picture of your window display. Thank you for doing the stuffing and ice too. Of course, no problems whatsoever. Fizz, I've got your one here. Fizz did Yemen. Yemen? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Here is man chicken. A little flat. Well, I zhuzhed him up a bit. These chickens have been a lot of fun. Can't wait to see the window. Take care. It'll soon be peanut butter time. It will be. Nearly 10 o'clock. Right, shall we finish off? Let's do a quick look. If you haven't seen the charts for this week, let's have a quick look at them. And we'll do 2 sets of charts. So we've got the knitting charts left, the crochet charts, and then we've got our last set of chickens, which takes us to 10 o'clock, everyone. And then you can all go to bed. Right, Fizz, shall we look at the crochet charts first? Okay, let's see what the top 10 patterns that are hot right now in the crochet world. Just reminded me, actually, the crochet. Can you remember in the gallery we had Jesus? How you say it? Well, we would say Jesus, but yeah, he did the Jethro, and the Jethro has been in the. Was it in the charts this week? It was, wasn't it, Fizz? Did I just see it? I can't remember. Yeah, I did see it. Yeah, that's right. Reminded me. And the Jethro has been really popular in the crochet world. It's almost turning into like the ranunculus or the photography shawl. And I believe, well, I don't believe, I know. What's his name? Needles at the Ready Boys. Ray has done his own Jethro too. And I saw him in it. It looks well cool. So if you're interested in a make, and you like your grannies, that could be one. Okie dokie. Jesus. Oh, of course, yes. If you ever need any pronunciation advice, Kiwi James, Jesus. Okay. Right, shall we do Kevin and Ray? Did they? I only saw Ray's. I wonder what happened there. Did they do them at the same time? Did I miss that bit, Emmy? I shall have to go back and have a look. But it did look great. Right, let's do the knitting charts. Shall we, Fizz? We've got a couple of minutes left. Let's do what's hot right now in the knitting world. Oops. I've just realised I left myself unmuted throughout that, but I don't think I was swearing. I was more amazed that we've been broadcasting for 2 hours. Does it feel like 2 hours? Fizz, does it feel like 2 hours? No. Oh, right. I didn't miss anything. Kevin's isn't finished yet. Okay. Sue says Kevin only just finished his, as had to make it a lot bigger. Oh, it came out short, did it? Right. I might have missed that bit then on the video. Now, yes, if you might have seen in the chat there, Fizz has noticed that Andrea Mowry has got a birthday code on. It's a big sale. How much money off is it? 40% off. Wow. Of all her back catalogue. Except her latest one. Right. See, that's the wonders, isn't it? So there you are. If you like some of her patterns, hoik over there in a couple of minutes, not just yet, and treat yourself. Now, let's just finish off those chickens we were looking through there. Emmy says, to be honest, this was one of the highlights of my life. I picked out mine and showed everyone. Proud of us. Well, it's been funny how people have just loved it. And people keep coming to the shop saying, oh, it's such a great idea, such a great idea. It just was an idea. It just came out and you all just have made it something special. We've done knit-alongs before, haven't we? And some are really long, some don't work, some we never finish. But there was something about this where it was small enough to be doable, but then also excitable, because you can do a little bit of creativity if you wanted to, and many of you have done. You went for it and designed your own hen completely, or the way you interpreted the badge, and we'll talk about that in the last lot actually, because it's here. Where are we? So the lady that I don't have, I've assumed again, gentleman or lady, where I haven't got the name for, has done Cambodia and Albania. And when you see it on the last lot, because it was in the last chickens to come in a minute, 73 to 80, she did Albania, and the Albanian flag is a red background with a black two-headed eagle. I had a go at adapting the head part of the pattern to be two-headed and with a bigger beak. I've sewn up the head part, inserted cardboard into the head to keep its shape. But she says, feel free to remove the cardboard if you think it's better, or just to hide the whole thing in the corner if you think it's a bit too hideous, weird, apocalyptic to have a two-eagle-headed chicken in the shop window. Not at all, because it's your creativity, and that has what has been overwhelming seeing over the last 2 months is your creativity, and how you have, like Team GB here, Margarita, reflecting it through the scarf. Don't worry, a hat is safe. I've kept that put aside somewhere special so it didn't get lost in transit. And how people have just interpreted the flag. I know, yes. Fizz is just laughing at the idea of my car being full of chickens. I've got to put them all back in tonight, ready for tomorrow. But or the little things, like the cork hat, or just doing a chicken, just simple. Here's Sue's delightful little chicken, almost the same style with the pattern, but using the flag and the colours, and it's been so lovely. the joy that it's bring to people in the village has been amazing. The conversation that has started from it, the postman each day coming in with international parcels. He has been so excited. Another chicken for you. And because I'm not here on Mondays, Tuesdays, he saves them up and he brings them over on Wednesdays. And you've got a couple more international chickens for you. And then he waits now for me to open them so he can see them. Another lovely story is a lady and a little, I think it was the son, I'm sure it was a dear little boy, says that at the end of every day before going to bed, they have to come to the shop to say goodnight to the chickens. And they do that every night. And isn't that lovely? And there are so many horrible things going on in the world, wherever, and even here in the UK at the moment, aren't there? So this has been a delightful moment of just forgetting that and just having this moment of joy. So if you've knitted a chicken for us, U80, thank you. If you've just enjoyed watching them, then brilliant. A little bit of joy for you all. We're coming to the end of a 2-hour epic. We did say it would be an Olympic show length. 31 of you are still watching, which is fabulous. Are you ready to see the last lot of chickens? So this is chicken 73 to 80, and keep an eye out for, I don't know your name. I hope we can somehow find you, or you've watched it and you can email. Look out for Albania, because it's just in engineering at its best. And we'll enjoy seeing these, and then I'll see you for a 30-second finish afterwards. Here's our last set of ladies. Stunning, absolutely stunning. Thank you, everyone. It's been a great show. The 80 Olympi'hens are there for everyone to see. I hope you've enjoyed seeing your own chicken spin round in all its glory. If you want to enter the competition, the link is in the description. It will be in the description below. Fizz has popped it in the chat again. The total mileage of all the chickens to my shop to Long Melford. A bit of fun. There's a prize for the Americans, a prize for the Brits, and a prize, a digital prize for anyone else around the world. If you want to have fun, have a guess at the mileage, pop it in that form and enter the form, so then we can properly do the competition. It's been absolutely wonderful. It's been an epic show, but it's been great. Some beautiful stories, some heartwarming stories on why you've chosen the chickens. enjoy the rest of the Olympics. Enjoy that closing ceremony. And bravo to you all. You're all amazing. And I'll see you on the next show. It's been wonderful. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye. Thanks, Fizz. Bye. Oh, you've done... Oh, wow.